some coordinators like to be up top, some on the field. Do you know where yours are going?
Mine are down the field guys. Okay. My guys are not up top guys. We got some very intelligent guys up top. That's one of them sitting right there. And I can't wait to he's next? Yep. Yeah, I can't wait till you get done. How long we been knowing each other, man? It's a long time. Like, they have no idea who you are. They don't understand how talented you are. They don't understand where all of you've been. Can you please inundate them on that? Because they don't think we know what we're doing half the time. And they didn't know you've been a part of the staff for how long? January. But you had to go do what?
I was the OC in the UFL.
Yeah, they have no idea. They have no idea about that, but they, they're like the house was abandoned and we had no one in there. There you go, 29 and 12. I'm going to walk out on that. I'm going to let you pop your collar, man. Pop your collar, man. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. God bless you, man. God, Sam is a good man. I don't care about the You can come
in. This feels like a UFL with all these cameras on and you got to call plays. But, yeah, it's exactly like this. a.j.smith, quarterbacks. And, yeah, he said kind of introduce it. I've been coaching 19 years. Started out in high school as a 21-year-old high school offensive coordinator. Knew immediately I wanted to be in college, so I GA'd from Northwestern State, UL Lafayette, SMU, where I coached Bucky and was with Jason Phillips and did a prime camp. I had one of the best photos ever at the time. What else? 23. Coach Prime, Ed Reed, right next to me. That's two legends. Not too many people have a photo like that. But then UCLA, and then. Right around 2019, again with June Jones, SMU, we were in Canada together. He became the head coach of the XFL Roughnecks. We went 5-0 with P.J. Walker, and ever since then I became Wade Tillip's offensive coordinator. Later on, I was Jerry Glanville's offensive coordinator, and this past year I was Ricky Prohl, and we've won an XFL championship in 2024. Again, OC at that point after that first year being a receiver coach, and glad to be back in college football now, so that's a little bit about me.
Hey, Coach Liam Howard, Buffalo SI. What do you think the biggest takeaway you had from this season being the OC with the Battlehawks? What do you think that taught you for this coming year?
No, any chance you get to call plays is a learning opportunity and a chance to growth, because you're always going to get new challenges, new people, different scenarios, because no quarterback is exactly the same. So you look at Bill Walsh, was the system the same with Steve Young and Joe Montana? No. So every year it's a chance to evolve and see what personalities, what QB traits, strengths, weaknesses, and evolve your offense. And this past season I had to have 4 different quarterbacks take snaps. We still led the league in passing because we found a way. So this is a little glimpse of the challenges you go through in seasons like that.
Jack Harlow with BuffInsider.com. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So you said you joined in January, the program, and then I guess worked a little bit in the UFL too there, obviously. But just curious, why now, why CU, and why was this a good fit for you to officially join Coach Prime's staff?
Yeah, opportunity to be here and what's going on here. I've been in spring football since 2020, and that's a long time. I was just ready, 6 different seasons with 4 different teams in spring football. I was ready to jump back into college football. There had been opportunities, but it had been wrong fits. This was the first one that was the right fit that I said, okay, let's jump and get back into this level.
Hey, Coach. Jake Schwanitz from DMVR. Just wanted to know, ask you about your impression of Coach Marion and the go-go offense so far.
Yeah, love it. Coach Marion's a great coach. And it's been real easy transition for me to learn it. You wouldn't think about it, but all of his stuff at its core is West Coast offense, and that's a language we speak at the pro level. So once I learned that and then was able to incorporate some of the other things he does to get the plays out, it's been real easy for me and been an awesome experience getting to work for him and seeing how he coaches and had a really good experience so far.
Hey, Coach, Leo Rivera with BuffStampede.com. I had a couple quick ones for you. I just wanted to ask, what have you seen out of that quarterback room in your time around those guys?
Yeah, you see a young room, but, man, the desire is there. The way they get up and get after it every single day. Each one of them has things they do at a very high level, and then each one of them has things they can work on, and they figure it out, and they go out there and do it, and just really impressed. Especially so I've been in the UFL. My quarterback room was 32, 31, 28. Okay, now I don't. They're all under 20, I think, right now, right, or right at 20. To see their work habits and their desire is like at the pro level, so that's been impressive so far.
Secondly, I know you started calling plays at 21. I'm calling plays this year for my first time at 21. I was kind of curious,
Yeah.
what's your advice for development or learning as a young coach?
Get air raid certified. Just know I wish I could have grabbed myself when I was 21 and say, hey, just because you're 21 and calling plays and you're the youngest offensive coordinator in the state, that means you're the least experienced. So take everything you can as a learning experience. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Find out how other coordinators are scripting, okay? And here's a challenge for you. 90% of coordinators in high school run the same offense they ran in high school because that's what they know. So I challenge you to go out there and study, and then you determine, no, this is me. Not because someone just told me this is all I know. I went out and looked at, I said air raid or the go-go, West Coast offense, split back veer. There's so many wing tee. There's so many great offenses, and then you be true to you.
Hey, Coach. Tyler King with the Denver Gazette. Just curious, did you have any connection to Coach Marion before? How did you guys kind of get in contact about joining his staff?
No, I didn't have a direct connection with him, but I've been following his career and had a lot of respect for him.
And he's also talked about a little bit this camp about how much he's learned from the defensive coaches he's been around. Obviously, Wade Phillips, a guy that you said you were his offense coordinator for a bunch of years, one of the best defensive coaches the NFL's ever seen. I mean, what was that like for you kind of going against his defense in practice every day, and what did you learn just being around him that helped you become a better offensive coach?
Yeah, that's a challenge. Wade Phillips every day. That's a challenge. And then you try to go learn something from, hey, Coach, this is a classic Wade answer. Coach, you know, what gives you problems in this? Nothing. All right. But he would give me a but, and this is what he'd say. When a quarterback like Brady, Manning, because that's who he's going with, would hit the perfect pass, there's no defense I could come up with. So that's what made me say, hey, I'm going to be a passing coach because he can draw up any defense to stop a run. And I got him to say one but, and it was, the perfect pass. So that's where I became a quarterback coach and specifically really major in throwing the football and take pride in it.
Couple more, Matt.
Hey, Coach, just wondering your opinion on Julian. Since you got here in January, you've seen the install go in, you've seen him get acclimated with this offense. Just how do you feel the strides he's made have gone so far into fall camp?
Big strides. Because even though I wasn't here for spring, I was able to go in and evaluate it. We're using state-of-the-art quarterback analytic tools through modern football, and the jumps are big. And that's just through finding differentiators, finding out what's good, what's bad, anything it's this shows up big time, right? And then addressing it, finding drills for it. Maybe it's take the play out. Stuff he's doing great. Hey, let's major in this. And just being able to see those things, identify those things, and then correct them, coach them, drill them. Big strides since the spring. And we still got a long ways to go, and we're going to continue to get better. But it's where we need to be, where we're at after Saturday.
You brought it up, but I did want to ask you about the connection with technology in coaching and just how much that has advanced, what you can do with the quarterback position.
Right. I just mentioned modern football because I created that because, in spring football, you have 4 weeks to name a starter with 3 quarterbacks. And going out there and saying, oh, well, he was, 30 for 40 and 200 yards and whatever. It's well, did he a hitch route break for 80 yards? Was that really on the quarterback? So we look at release times, we look at spots on the field, and that's been a big part of something I've brought here. Another thing is VAR, which is something at SMU, Coach Prime mentioned, was virtual reality, and I was the innovator of that. There are hundreds of teams that use this, that I've sold this software I created back then as a GA at SMU. And I think the biggest thing it does, there's so many different things it can do, but for our backups, it's their way of putting on the headset and seeing the one offense, seeing the one receivers. And I didn't get to take that rep at practice, but now I can put this headset on and I'm getting the one rep because I'm one play away from, I need to have this perspective. And Jaden Daniels made this a big deal, and this is something we use in our software too. Every play they're looking at it. and then we'll say, okay, hey, speed it up to 1.2, which is flying. It's almost like 2x, but for whatever reason, 1.2 is like, whoop. Okay, did you go through your progression that fast? They're like, yes. All right, put it back down to 1. This is slow. We just made real life slow. So things like that we can do pattern recognition and cognitive training with their brains that it translates to the field. You know, I've majored in that because we've just seen success over the last 10 years in doing that. Yeah.
I was going to ask about the VR stuff, so I'm good. Appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, no doubt.
So that was a great point you raised about the virtual reality. I guess, was there a point, taking you back to that time, was there a point when how did you decide that you needed something like this, and how did you come up with the formula and the plan?
Yeah, it was always about being on the cutting edge because I mentioned when I was 2010, 21-year-old offensive coordinator, if I went in there with a playbook, man, that thing is not getting open. No, so that was like the first time I went back and Googled how to create something called a flash game, and I created the first ever like Tecmo Bowl playbook. Look at your guy, your letter, he running this route, and it'll adjust on this coverage, and I just saw it instantly, right? And then like 3 years later, virtual reality with the Oculus Rift came out, and I'm like, I wonder if I could put that in there. And so then, boom, now all of a sudden it was like super Madden. But what I learned with the 3D stuff, that's still teaching, and then once they know it, right? So then video came along, and we already had the headset going. I said, hey, implement the video, and that's where it went from teaching to training. And then because now I can sit there and I'm actually seeing what it's going to look like, actually seeing the receiver speed. And so that was kind of the evolution of it. And then each year, man, the technology and the headsets get so much better as far as like the quality of it. We're like up to 8K now. I remember when it was 1K and everything was blurry and you had to kind of point it out. And so, but that's how it evolved, just trying to be one step ahead of the game. And a lot of teams have it, but they don't know how to use it, and we do.
Coach, I know quarterbacks are obviously your focus here, but one really consistent position you had with the Battlehawks was the receivers, like guys like Hakeem Butler and so forth there, who were great. Did working with those guys give you sort of an insight into looking at receiver skill sets and then getting to work with guys like Coach Schott on, you know, figuring out how to utilize them in your offense?
Yeah, no, 100%. In 6 years, we had 4 different receivers that were number 1 in spring football. You mentioned Hakeem Butler. You know who else is on that team? My coach is Michael Bandy. He got in there, caught the mesh. He led in receptions for me when we were in TSL in 2001. Also had John Trey Kirkland and also had Cam Phillips. And so that is a knowing your personnel and who is your live guys and featuring them at quarterback. As much as we talk about scheme and everything, me and Coach Marion having this conversation, I said, man, I don't know what scheme I'm into anymore as I am into personnel, like, and fitting it around the players you have, more so than, you know, banging my hat on what scheme I run. So finding your live guys like Hakeem Butler, that it didn't matter what play we called. As soon as it was man free, I'm on the headset solo, which meant he's one-on-one, throw Hakeem Butler the ball. I don't care what route he has, right? And yeah, that's a big step as far as when you have live guys, you got to make sure you feature them and your quarterbacks know who they are.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate it.
Coach Schott, you ready?
Sound on third down, bouncing off the mountain.
Breaking free down the side, so much credit. Ball is loose, fired to the end zone, and it's pulled in for a touchdown.